Today, on the 17th of November, 2025, we gather here in this heartfelt space to remember and honor remarkable souls who have recently left us, along with those whose legacies continue to inspire. Together, we'll celebrate their journeys and also reflect on WWE legend Sami Zayn's recent struggles that fans everywhere have connected with. Don't forget to subscribe and be a part of our growing family of remembrance and strength. Mean Gene Okerlund, born on December 19, 1942, was far more than just a wrestling interviewer. He was the heartbeat, voice, and personality that connected fans to the larger-than-life world of professional wrestling. With his smooth delivery, sharp humor, and unmistakable tone, Okerlund had a rare gift. He could make any moment feel important, whether it was a championship showdown or a chaotic backstage confrontation. His presence alone added credibility to the wild, unpredictable drama of the wrestling business. Okerlund didn't step into wrestling by accident. He began his career in radio, mastering the art of engaging audiences through storytelling and emotion. That natural ability caught the attention of the American Wrestling Association, AWA, in the early 1970s, launching him into a world that soon couldn't function without him. By the time he joined the WWF, now WWE, Okerlund had become the perfect bridge between wrestlers and fans. He wasn't just asking questions, he was creating moments standing beside legends like Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, Randy Savage, Ric Flair, and the Ultimate Warrior, Mean Gene, had a way of amplifying their energy while keeping the show grounded. Even during the most unhinged promos, he reacted with the perfect mix of professionalism and relatability, often stealing the scene with a raised eyebrow, a well-timed pause, or a one-liner. Fans still remember him not just for his iconic interviews, but for the warmth and sincerity he brought to every appearance. When Okerlund passed away on January 2, 2019, the wrestling world felt the loss deeply. He wasn't simply a broadcaster, he was family to generations of fans. His legacy continues to echo every time a microphone is lifted in a wrestling ring, reminding the world of the man who helped make wrestling feel real, emotional, and unforgettable. Bray Wyatt, born Windham Rotunda on May 23, 1987, was far more than a professional wrestler. He was an artist who turned the squared circle into a stage for psychological drama and storytelling. Widely known for his exceptional creativity, Wyatt captured the imagination of millions by crafting characters that blurred the line between fiction and reality. Whether speaking softly in eerie riddles or commanding the arena with an unsettling calmness, he made audiences feel something: curiosity, fear, fascination. Often all at once, his sudden passing at the age of 36 shocked the wrestling world, leaving a void that can never truly be filled. Wyatt entered WWE in 2010 and gradually evolved into one of the most unique performers of his generation. Although he began with more traditional roles, he eventually unleashed his full creative vision with the Wyatt Family, an ominous Southern Gothic cult inspired by horror films, folklore, and psychological thriller themes. Fans were mesmerized as he delivered cryptic promos in dimly lit rooms, lantern in hand, surrounded by an aura that felt equal parts mystical and dangerous. His brilliance later resurfaced in a completely different form through the Firefly Funhouse segments, where bright colors, childlike puppets, and playful energy masked something deeply sinister beneath the surface. It wasn't just wrestling, it was storytelling of the highest kind. Despite his intimidating on-screen persona, those who knew Wyatt described him as gentle, thoughtful, and deeply passionate about his craft. He cared about connecting with audiences in a meaningful way and constantly pushed himself to create something fresh and unforgettable. His legacy continues to influence new performers, proving that wrestling can be more than athletic competition. It can be art that touches people's hearts and minds. Paul Bearer, born William Alvin Moody on April 10, 1954, in Mobile, Alabama, remains one of the most unforgettable personalities in professional wrestling history. Long before he stood in front of millions of fans with his pale face and eerie voice, Moody was simply a young man fascinated by the theatrical world of wrestling. His passion led him into the business in the 1970s, where he first worked as a ringside photographer and later as a referee. It didn't take long, however, for people to notice that his true gift wasn't in officiating matches but in storytelling, a talent that eventually guided him toward a managerial role. When he adopted the name Paul Bearer, everything clicked. His unique combination of ghost white makeup, somber facial expressions, and tight clenched urn created a chilling presence that fans had never seen before. The iconic pairing of Paul Bearer and The Undertaker in the early 1990s became wrestling magic, with his high-pitched wail of "ooh, yees" echoing across arenas. Bearer added layers of emotion and drama that elevated The Undertaker from a great character into a legendary one. Later, his twisted storyline connection with Kane only deepened the mythos, helping shape some of WWE's most memorable moments. Outside of WWE, Paul Bearer continued to contribute to the wrestling world through appearances in WCW and various independent promotions, proving that his passion for the industry never faded. Although he passed away at just 58 years old, his legacy still lives on, not only through the wrestlers he guided, but through fans who remember him with admiration and nostalgia. Paul Bearer wasn't just a manager, he was a master storyteller who helped turn wrestling into emotional theater, and the sport is richer because of him. Ramy Sabay, known across the world as Sami Zayn, was born on July 12, 1984, in Laval, Quebec, Canada, to Syrian immigrant parents who worked hard to build a life from the ground up. And from them, he inherited values of perseverance, responsibility, and resilience. Growing up at the crossroads of two cultures, traditional Syrian family expectations and the fast-moving modern world of Canada, shaped him as someone who never stopped trying to belong, understand, and grow. From childhood, professional wrestling fascinated him not just as sport or entertainment, but as something far deeper. He saw wrestling as a living story, where performance, emotion, athleticism, and human connection formed one powerful blend that allowed people to escape reality for a few hours at a time. He watched matches obsessively, studied characters, and even recreated moves in his imagination long before he ever stepped into a ring. But the path that followed was anything but glamorous. He trained in the early 2000s with little support and very limited resources, working small shows in cramped venues, sleeping in low-budget accommodations, and struggling to afford travel, food, and equipment. In 2002, when he debuted under the name Stevie McFly, it was more enthusiasm than identity, a sign of how young he was and how early in the journey he stood. Yet beneath that name was a young man who refused, absolutely refused, to quit on his dream even when money was scarce. The future seemed uncertain, and every step forward demanded equal measures of pain and sacrifice. Independent circuit rise and the birth of El Generico. It was on the independent wrestling circuit that Sabay transformed into a performer worthy of global recognition, and the turning point came when he created the masked character El Generico, a fun-spirited luchador known for his red mask, charismatic energy, and underdog spirit that radiated comedic charm while still delivering deeply emotional matches. With little dialogue and almost no promos, he relied on his facial expressions, body language, speed, and storytelling to connect with crowds. And that connection became undeniable, especially across promotions like PWG and Ring of Honor. Yet behind the mask was a man sacrificing more than fans ever knew. Constant travel across North America, Europe, and Japan for modest pay, sleeping wherever he could, performing with injuries that most doctors would have told him to rest, and living day to day with financial insecurity while still pouring his entire heart into every match. His body took significant damage during this era. Countless sprains, concussions, and lower back discomfort haunted him, but medical treatment was often delayed simply because it cost money he didn't have. Still, El Generico made him a star, not because of fame or wealth, but because he earned a rare type of respect, the respect of fans, peers, and promoters who recognized him as a performer who could make people laugh, cry, and believe all within the same match. That respect became the price of admission to the next stage of his life. Main roster journey and the constant fight for spotlight. When Sami Zayn transitioned to WWE's main roster, He brought with him the heart of an underdog who never stopped fighting, and audiences recognized this immediately. He became part of major rivalries, especially with Kevin Owens, whose story intertwined with his since the independent scene and continued evolving into something deeper every time they shared a ring. Yet despite his enormous popularity and unmatched storytelling ability, his WWE journey was not always steady. Sometimes positioned as a main event player, other times pushed into the mid-card, working tirelessly to prove once again what he had already proven countless times. This inconsistency led many fans to whisper about whether WWE truly saw his value. But what most didn't see was the combination of physical and emotional pressure he faced. Backstage contract security and income in wrestling often depend on consistent spotlight. And while Zayn has never discussed finances publicly, the reality of the business suggests that fluctuating roles create financial uncertainty. His injuries mounted too: neck issues, knee pain, back discomfort, and shoulder complications returning from time to time, forcing him to balance his passion with his well-being. The public saw his smile and energy on television, but behind the curtain was a man constantly icing injuries, repeatedly repairing his body, and carrying the pressure of proving again and again that he belonged the pandemic era and the power of character work. When the pandemic hit and WWE began running shows without live audiences, many wrestlers struggled, but Sami Zayn reinvented himself once more with brilliant character evolution, transforming into a paranoid, conspiracy-driven heel convinced that the company was targeting him. With humor, intelligence, improvisation, and creativity, he became one of the most entertaining performers during a time when morale was low and the world felt unstable, reminding everyone that the power of wrestling is not only physical, but emotional and psychological. Yet as he thrived professionally, mentally the isolation was draining. No live crowds, constant uncertainty about the future, and the weight of maintaining momentum in a world that felt frozen. Behind the scenes, many performers dealt with anxiety and burnout, and Zayn was no exception. Though he didn't publicly display these struggles, those close to the industry noted that the lack of clarity around long-term job security created real pressure. Even his charitable initiatives, particularly those related to humanitarian aid in Syria, had to be slowed down, which concerned fans who knew how important that work was to him, showing that even financially stable stars sometimes had to adjust their priorities in response to global instability. Career-defining bloodline storyline and revival of stardom, Zayn's career exploded once again when he unexpectedly became part of the historic bloodline storyline alongside Roman Reigns, the Usos, and Solo Sikoa. His role as the conflicted honorary Uce turned into one of the most emotionally impactful arcs in WWE history, blending comedy, vulnerability, loyalty, tension, and betrayal in a way that resonated deeply with fans all over the world. The storyline validated everything he had ever worked for, not just as an athlete, but as a storyteller capable of moving millions. Yet this rebirth came at a physical cost, as the high-stakes matches and the demanding schedule placed even more pressure on an already vulnerable body. Fans speculated frequently about possible rib damage and back aggravations picked up during the storyline, especially when Zayn competed taped up or moving carefully during live events. The physical toll became harder to hide, but Zayn pushed forward because momentum in wrestling is rare and fleeting, and no performer wants to step away from the spotlight once they've captured it again. Recent accidents, injury rumors, and physical concerns. In recent years, rumors have circulated within the wrestling community about unreported injuries and brutal bumps endured during live events and travel, including speculation about a backstage incident that may have led to undisclosed physical problems. Although neither Zayn nor WWE has confirmed such reports, the signs of strain are visible to those who pay close attention. Slower movement some nights, taped shoulders or ribs, careful pacing during matches, and occasional absences from non-televised shows that prompt speculation about ongoing recovery. The culture of pushing through pain in wrestling makes it difficult to know what is storyline and what is reality. But insiders often note that Zayn has been working hurt for long stretches, driven by commitment to storylines and fans, even when his body is signaling otherwise. While secrecy maintains the magic of wrestling, It also highlights the difficult truth that performers are expected to keep going until they physically cannot. United States Championship run in present status. In 2025, Zayn reached another milestone by winning the WWE United States Championship, a moment that reflected his persistence and ability to break through no matter how many setbacks he faced. The matches leading into the championship win were punishing, full of high-impact sequences and intense crowd emotion. And after some recent fights, fans noticed visible bruising and what seemed to be shoulder discomfort, raising the familiar question: how long can he keep pushing his body this hard? His championship reign has brought renewed pride, recognition, and financial stability. Yet it also magnifies the stakes, as champions are expected to defend titles frequently, travel more, and remain in peak condition even when their bodies are barely holding together. For Zayn, the belt is both reward and responsibility, a validation of years of sacrifice, but also a reminder that success in wrestling demands continuous, punishing effort, health issues, and long-term risk factors. Through the years, Zayn has accumulated an extensive list of injuries, including multiple shoulder problems, chronic back pain, suspected knee complications, and several concussions that fans only learned about indirectly. Like many wrestlers, he rarely openly discusses long-term health fears, but his slowed movements and cautious in-ring adjustments hint that pain management has become a regular part of life. Beyond the physical challenges, the emotional strain of constant travel, time away from loved ones, and the need to always perform at full energy places a heavy burden on mental well-being. Zayn, who is married and a father, has occasionally expressed how important family is to him, but the demanding nature of WWE often forces him to choose work over time at home. While there has been no public confirmation of financial difficulty, the reality of the industry is that injury downtime and shifting spotlight can affect stability, meaning performers must continuously plan for a future that is never guaranteed. Legacy and progress in the road ahead. Today, Sami Zayn stands as one of the most respected figures in professional wrestling. United States champion, master storyteller, beloved performer, and a man who won fans' hearts not with perfection, but with humanity. His career is a living example of how greatness is not born from comfort, but from pushing through pain, doubt, disappointment, and uncertainty. Yet even now, his story remains unfinished, hovering between triumph and fragility, as injuries, workload, physical decline, and the quiet pressures of financial planning shape decisions behind the scenes. Fans hope his body will allow him to continue performing for many more years, but everyone understands the risk that every match could bring him closer to a point where he must choose health over legacy. Whatever the future holds, the world already knows that Ramy Sabeh, Sami Zayn, reached greatness not by being unstoppable, but by getting up every single time he was knocked down, by performing with heart instead of ego, and by making millions of people feel something every time his music hit. His legacy isn't just written in championships, but in emotion, authenticity, sacrifice, and the reminder that even the strongest performers are human. And that humanity is what makes them unforgettable.